Virgo. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for February of 2022. We are the astrologers of Pandora Astrology. I'm Jamie Kale Miller. I'm in Berkeley, California.
I'm Julia Mijas in San Francisco.
Well, Virgo, this month's horoscope themes are all over the place, encompassing both fun, which has been difficult for you to have recently, and also work. And if you have questions, a natal and transit reading has the answers. And you can find a link for that in the YouTube description below. Well, we have been watching Ceres retrograde for a couple of months, and it's been really annoying, but Ceres is now direct, which is helping us all untangle our finances. For you, this has been happening in the 9th and 10th houses, impacting both your finances in your career and also your whole worldview regarding money. And whether you come from more of an abundance or a scarcity mindset. So a lot of changes have been going on. Things are about to come untangled. That is totally coming up over the horizon. So if you've been struggling with this, just know it's going to get a lot better as the month goes on. And you can find out more about that actually in the January 2022 news playlist on our YouTube channel, Pandora Astrology, which explains very thoroughly what Ceres retrograde is about. Hey, Julia, I know you've got some news about Mars, Mercury, and Venus for the Virgos of the world. What's that stuff?
I sure do. Hey there, Virgo. Lots of activity going on in the 5th house for you. And the 5th house is a very fun house. It's the house of games. It's the house of creativity. It's also the house of children, if you have any. So the first planet I'll talk about is Mars. That's the planet of action and activity, and it's in your 5th house all month. So with Mars in the 5th, you could feel very driven to kind of go out, have fun, maybe play more video games, maybe go out to more bars. And that's all well and good, but Mars in the 5th isn't great if you have a lot of responsibilities that are saying maybe you can't have fun, maybe you've got work, maybe you've got kids to take care of, maybe there are other things going on. So, it can kind of go either way, but a good use of this transit is to kind of apply your energy into something creative, whether that's designing something or crafting something. And Mars in the 5th, if you do have children, can be a conflict-prone time with them too. Now, Mercury, the planet of communication and mentation, starts a month retrograde in your 5th house. Now, with Mercury retrograde in the 5th, Mercury is the planet that represents what's going on in your mind. And the 5th house is such a fun house that you might have had to have either have had some miscommunications with your children, which are also ruled by the 5th, or maybe you're rethinking some gaming strategy or even some creative project you have. On the 3rd, Mercury goes direct, so that's going to make these things a lot easier to deal with. Then by the 14th, Mercury is going to go into your 6th house of work and health, where you're going to be just much more sort of focused on your job after that. Now, Venus, the planet of art, beauty, and relationships, has just finished up a giant 6-week retrograde cycle. It happens about every 2 years, and it just technically ended on the 29th, which is great. However, we're going to keep reverberating from this retrograde period for a couple of weeks until Venus gets really fast in the sky. However, she is in your 5th house all month. And with Venus in the 5th, this house is also known as a dating house because it's a fun house. This is an excellent time for going out on a few dates, whether you have a partner or whether you want to meet somebody new. And Venus in the 5th can be a time of just kind of more pleasure with your games and even enjoying your children a little bit more too, even if you guys have the occasional fight.
Yeah. I'm thinking I would like to say a little bit more about that Mercury because Virgo is ruled by Mercury. And so this is such an important planet for you. And it's moving into your 6th house, which is your house, really. It's the house that Virgo is associated with. And it's also in its favorite sign to be in, which is in Aquarius. So, if your attempts in the last month while Mercury was retrograde in your 5th house, if your attempts to have some freaking fun and relax, take a little vacation, take a little trip, if those came to naught and you ended with more frustration than ever, I think that you're actually going to find more enjoyment and pleasure in going back to work and finding that you're more efficient even than usual for you, Virgo. So that sounds pretty nice. So Julia, you were just talking about Venus in Capricorn and the ending of the Venus retrograde period. Again, so nice for all of us. And I just want to add to that that Juno, which was traveling with Venus in Capricorn, is going to change signs really early this month. So Juno is going to leave Capricorn. And the reason why I'm attaching this to Venus is that these are the relationship goddesses, right? Venus is all about love and beauty and relating and connecting. And then Juno is about the committed side of partnership. And that can be for business or personal reasons. So Juno is kind of like a social director. She is the matchmaker, the yenta, if you will, of our pantheon. So wherever she goes, you can form social connections and you can look to that area of your partnerships. So as Juno moves into the 6th house, again, that house of work, health, and service, this is a really great arena to look into. So if you have a business partnership, then go into the arena of the details of your workday with your partner. What are the systems that you have in place for communication, for managing tasks, managing projects, and can those systems be improved? And how can that improve the partnership and how it functions? So that's a really great thing to pay attention to. And if you're married, look to that aspect of your marriage. You know, how do you keep your home together organized? And is there any sort of clean out that you could do as a team that would enhance your relationship as well as how you run your home? Let's see. So now I want to talk about the moons of the month, beginning with the first moon of the month, which is actually happening on January 31st. So it happens at the end of January, but it really permeates the beginning of February. And that's this new moon that you see right here in the 6th house in Aquarius. And this is a sign of genius. And this moon also squares Uranus, ruler of Aquarius, doubling up on those themes of genius. We've named this moon Diligently Cultivate the Seeds of Genius. The idea of seeds is very much a new moon idea because new moons are about birth and new beginnings, fresh starts. And so wherever a new moon happens, you should be planting seeds. You should be starting over. In this case, the 6th house and the Aquarian feel is saying that in the arena of your work environment, and the systems that you have in place that help you stay organized, this is the place to plant seeds of the new, to be open to new ideas, and to make some fresh starts that can then outlast this moon, passing on into, the whole future. So then the other moon I want to tell you about is coming about 2 weeks later, and that is the full moon right here in Leo, opposite the sun in Aquarius. So this moon falls in your 12th house. And this is a moon that is very vital, very alive, very radiant, because it is a moon in creative, playful, expansive Leo. And this one we're calling Release Addiction, Become Radiant. This moon wants you to be radiant in 12th house arenas, which is your spiritual life, your imagination, your artistic life, your dream life, your connection with all that is. And so this moon really would kind of like you to do a little self-care in the form of retreat and solitude, and to really enjoy that and have that be a wonderful, playful space of revitalization for you. But in order to make that happen, you're going to have to let go of some South Node in Scorpio things in communication. In other words, probably you're going to have to stop worrying and having those thoughts spin round and round in your head from all the conversations and open loops that are going on in your life. And let go of the, compulsive worrying about those communications. Instead, embracing North Node in Taurus and Ceres in Gemini, which is to say healthier habits in your worldview. So instead of letting your mind spin around in paranoid circles, embrace a more relaxed and patient, bigger worldview, and let all of this contribute to some peaceful retreat time where in solitude you can find your vitality. And that sounds really nice to me. So give yourself some time to do all that around this full moon on the 16th. The last thing I want to tell you about is the seasonal change. So we have the sun right here leaving Aquarius, moving on into Pisces, which is your 7th house domain of partnership. And so this seasonal shift is going to bring a shift away from putting your attention on career, on work, your work life and your work environment, 6th house, and instead shifting your attention over to the 7th house, which is partnerships of all kinds. And the sun represents, wherever the sun travels tells us where you should put the spotlight of your high quality attention. And that's because the sun shines its light on earth and brings life and vitality. And sunlight, when translated into human terms, is attention. And so your attention is like sunshine, and you should shine it into your relationships when the sun moves into this house in your chart. So that means paying more attention to your partner, paying more attention to your relationships, whether that's a business partner or a personal relationship or just a bestie. And shining the high quality attention through the lens of compassion into your relationship to bring understanding to your partner and a feeling so that they can have the feeling of really being seen by you, and the attention, the relationship itself can grow, expand, and become more vital. So do that for the 30 days of Pisces season, beginning on the 18th. And that's what we have for you today, Virgo. Hope you enjoyed it. You will find your horoscopes for your sun sign and also your rising sign on our website, pandoraastrology.com, in the horoscopes tab of the nav bar. And if this horoscope gives you questions that you want answered in a one-on-one reading, find the services or readings tab on our nav bar and schedule a reading with one of us. And if you are interested in astrology, full stop, then you can find classes on our website as well. And the monthly forecast will give you lots of clues about this month's moons and other activity. Yes, the forecast page. And until next time, we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.